whether iyan naka-bike, naka-motor, nakasasakyan, whether yan bulk, whether yan containerized. Ano ibig sabihin, everyone? Get into transport business, lalo na kung yun yung alam ninyo, kung yun nakikita ninyo, na isang halimbawa ng mga idea na pwedeng magbigay sa inyo ng success sa 2021. Another, nabanggit ko na kanina, m-commerce, yung e-commerce na sinasabi natin. Everything else right now can be developed through e-commerce. Nabanggit ni Bro Chinkee kanina, mag-start ka ng small. Even at 1,000 pesos, 3,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos. Even yung ukay-ukay na mga damit ni Marvin na nandyan ng mga coat na malalaki na, i-ukay-ukay na at i-trade na. At yung mga laruan na nakikita natin si Kesyon doon sa likod, i-trade na kung gusto natin magnegosyo. So ano ibig sabihin, everyone? Ito po yung ilang halimbawa na pwede nating tignan at simulan sa panahon ngayon. Marami pa. Health and wellness. Diba? Fashion. Diba? May passion ka ba sa fashion? Yan. Ito lagi ko sinasabi. Marvin, I'm sure with this, you will agree with this, Sean and Chinkee and the rest. Ito sinasabi ko. Nurture agriculture.
It's good that we're able to work from home kagad. We're a work from home ready organization, but the collections were really, really bad. So April, May, halos wala kaming nakolekta. And I had to take out from the company's safety net.
Ibig sabihin, pag 2 years pa to, 2 years ka pang survival mode? 2 years ka bang magtatago? 2 years ka pa bang hoping that it will go back to normal? Paano kung mag-stretch to 5 years? Di 5 years ulit to. Kaya nga, ito yung challenge ko sa inyo. I want to challenge you to move out of your comfort zone. To think outside of the box. Not only to survive, not only to provide, but to thrive this 2021.
Ang dami pa rin opportunities here. There's so much opportunities around. We just really have to spend the time to figure out saan tayo papasok. And maganda yung sinabi ni Chinkee kanina, dun sa opportunity na yun, kailangan natin hanapin ano yung align dun sa purpose natin. Because sobrang powerful yun purpose, passion, tapos doing it to fulfill an opportunity that creates value to people. That's something that I believe will create a lot of impact. Tapos, when the impact happens, that's when the money also will start to come in.
Consumer behavior, yung customers profiling, nagbabago ng buying habit, ng patronizing habit. So, anong gagawin natin doon? More than the price, more than the things, the features and benefits na binibigay natin with our client o customer. Alam nyo, ang isang malaki ngayon na premise is about value.
Ito yung curious ako malaman sa inyo, and of course you guys have different expertise also. Knowing what you know right now, para sa mga nanonood dito, ano tingin niyo yung opportunities for 2021 that they can probably start to help them make money or generate more? Let's start with Chinkee, Paulo, then Sean.
Ako, ang encouragement ko for 2021, start any opportunity that has low overhead. Yun lang. Keep your overhead low. Kasi, alam mo, back to basic tayo, mga friendship. It's the traditional Chinese way of doing business. Ground floor, tindahan. Second floor, bahay. Bakit? Para walang rental. Hindi ko naman pwede isara bahay. Diba? So, kung ikaw, mindset mo pa rin, upa pwesto, mall, diba? Maganda storefront and everything, well, that's your money. Diba? Pero ako, back to basic ako. Ang kagandahan kasi, pagka back to basic ka, kahit walang benta, walang lugi. I've learned this all my years. No? I'm 56. Turning 57 this year.
Wow.
So, parang...
ilang araw na lang.
Akala ko magkaedad lang tayo.
Yeah, looks may be deceiving, my friends. Yung parang naisip ko talaga kasi, yun yung balik tayo sa sinabi ni Sean kanina. And then ni Marvin, when sales are high, nothing hurts. When sales are low, everything hurts. Pagbili mo pa lang ng coupon ban, masakit na . Diba? Kaya nga, alam mo, keep your overhead low. Kahit na wala kang benta, parang ganito mindset ng mga singkit na katulad namin. Kahit wala benta, okay lang. Basta konti gastos. Laki benta, laki gastos, laki lugi. So, that's what the opportunity that I'm going to look at. Kasi, syempre, given naman yung mga specifics, ikukwento na sa iyo ni Paulo yun, kung ano yung mga thriving business for 2021.
Alam mo,
Oo.
yung tanong niya nga, bro, ayoko sagutin eh. Kasi sa'yo ko i-reveal eh.
Oo.
Pero meron naman.
Oo, so I will leave the tips na lang to Paulo, no? Pero yun yung principle ko. Start anything that has low overhead.
Yeah.
And try to maximize out of it.
Correct.
Got it. Paulo,
Agree.
snippet lang kahit ano.
Snippet.
Patikim.
Agree ako doon sa sinabi ni Chinkee na yun nga, if we can start very, very small, going back to basic, tama yun eh. Yung principle pa rin. Pero eto yung isang pwedeng dapat pag-isipan muna natin. Kasi ngayon, naging option ngayon ang pagninegosyo. Agree tayo dyan. Dahil siyempre sa investment, paano ka ngayon mag-i-invest given that for most people, survival ang tinitingnan. So, ang isang pwede nating ibahagi ngayon, Marbs, sa ating mga viewers, is that one, you have to check yung inyong personal entrepreneurial competencies. So, yung parang PECs man, gawin natin to, hindi tayo masisira basta-basta. So, ano yung mga PECs na to? Talking about, ano yung hilig natin? Di ba parang gusto natin passion to profit. So, ibig sabihin, things na well-oriented tayo, yan yung isang pinakamalaking success factor na pwede mong gawin kaagad. Kasi kailangan gusto mo muna eh. Hindi pwedeng nakita mo lang lahat nag-shawarma, ikaw rin shawarma hanggang ang tao naging sawana. Di ba parang ganun? Hindi pwedeng ganun eh. Lahat nagpunta sa tempura, lahat na lang pinasok na kahit hindi na mura. Alam mo yung parang ganun, mapapamura ka na. So anong point natin? Ang point natin is that one, we have to really check magkaroon tayo ng self-check. Magkaroon tayo ng awareness mo sa sarili natin. Pang negosyo ba ako? Pang corporate ba ako? Pang self-employment ba ako? So ano itong mga listahan na to? Una, parang kanina na pag-uusapan, gambler ka ba o risk-taker ka? Ibig sabihin, ikaw ba gusto mong mag-risk o parang hindi magsugal but magiging gambler ka doon sa magiging success potentially nung opportunity na nakikita mo na pwede, whether negosyo o investment. Another, happy ka ba na nakipag-communicate every so often with people? Kasi napakalaking bagay niyan. Paano kung ikaw ay introvert? Parang gusto mo, parang nandun ka lang sa isang sulok, di ba? Nagtatrabaho ka lang, may creative tendencies ka, mga ganyan. Gusto mo bang every so often may kausap kang tao? Sumunod, mahaba yung oras, for example, kaya mo ba ng 24 hours? Or Sabado-Linggo o holiday? So, ilan ito sa mga halimbawa na kailangan mo natin pag-isipang mabuti. Marami ang nagfe-fail, marami ang lumulubog kasi to begin with, hindi iyon yung kanilang gusto. Nadala lang sila ng kagustuhan ng iba, nadala lang sila ng success ng iba. Okay, snippet. Yan, snippet tayo. Snippet tayo. Isa lang na halimbawa, transport business. Chinkee, okay lang ba? Medyo magsasabi na ako kay Marvin dito ng konti. January daw to, January 3. So tayo January 2. Okay. Transport business, everyone. We have seen na whether motorized, anything that is parang ang term ko dito, Marbs, my forever sa delivery. Ganyan. So ibig sabihin, alam niyo naman yung play of words natin. So my forever sa delivery, whether iyan naka-bike, naka-motor, nakasasakyan, whether iyan bulk, whether iyan containerized, ano ibig sabihin, everyone? Get into transport business, lalo na kung iyon yung alam ninyo, kung yun nakikita ninyo, na isang halimbawa ng mga idea na pwedeng magbigay sa inyo ng success sa 2021. Another, nabanggit ko na kanina, m-commerce, yung e-commerce na sinasabi natin. Everything else right now can be developed through e-commerce. Nabanggit ni Bro Chinkee kanina, mag-start ka ng small. Even at 1,000 pesos, 3,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos. Even yung ukay-ukay na mga damit ni Marvin na nandyan ng mga coat na malalaki na, i-ukay-ukay na at i-trade na. At yung mga laruan na nakikita natin si Sean doon sa likod, i-trade na kung gusto natin magnegosyo. So ano ibig sabihin, everyone? Ito po yung ilang halimbawa na pwede nating tignan at simulan sa panahon ngayon. Marami pa. Health and wellness, 'di ba? Fashion, 'di ba? May passion ka ba sa fashion? Yan. Ito lagi ko sinasabi, Marvin, I'm sure with this you will agree with this, Sean and Chinkee and the rest. Ito sinasabi ko, nurture agriculture. Why? Infinity of business, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang agri. Nakita na natin ngayong pandemic. Ano ang pinaka-isang effective way to getting to business? Agriculture. It's cool to be in agriculture. Ilan po lang yan. Abangan nyo po sa January 2. I-reveal na po ang 2021 Paulo Tibig's Business Ideas Annual. Ayan. Ayan, nagbigay na ako ng snippet 5 na yon. Ayan.
Panalo. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, abangan nyo guys yun. So, kay Paulo and kay Chinkee na show, what check it out there. So, Sean.
Ang dami ng good things na nasabin. And, I'm sure a lot of people who are listening in would have a lot of ideas already from what was said. And I guess what I'll contribute na lang is a little bit on the spiritual aspect. In the Bible, one of the parables that a lot of people know is when Jesus had to feed 5,000 men, not including the women and children. And sabi nung disciples niya kay Jesus, how are we going to feed them? Paano natin papakainin ganito karaming tao? And what Jesus said is, what do we have? What do we have on hand? And it's a few loaves of bread and fish, and that's it. And what Jesus did is he prayed, and he broke it into pieces and distributed it, and they all had their fill. And I guess for 2021, what kind of business can you start? My advice for you is, first, you pray. You have to ask God for wisdom. What does He want you to do? Kasi anything, I'm going back to what Sir Chinkee said din kanina. When God blesses you with something, He adds no trouble to it. So you have to pray so that you know what you're about to do comes from God. And then He will use whatever it is that you have. Whether you think it's not a lot, you think it will only feed 2 people, 3 people, but it's God who will make it explode into thousands. So even with my businesses, especially SEO Hacker, it's like that. I didn't have capital, and God used what was in my hand, and that's 2,000 pesos. I started a blog. That's how SEO Hacker started, with just me freelancing, and now we've grown to almost 50 people. And also this year, I agree with the things that were said, Sir Chinkee and Paulo. You have to keep your expenses low. I would say that's how we profited this year as a company, SEO Hacker. So our corporate bank account has grown, but not because we closed more deals. We did not close more deals. We lost some deals. We lost some accounts, and we closed a lot less than what we were closing last year. So hindi naman, at the end of the day, when I computed it in my monthly recurring revenue sheet, we're making about the same monthly recurring revenue. But we profited a good amount this year. That's because sarado yung office. Hindi namin sinusponsor yung tissue paper, yung printing paper, yung kape. Yan, nakatipid kami doon. Hindi na pinatawad kami sa rent ng landlord namin sa buong 3rd floor. So we're just paying for the 2nd floor, which is more expensive, but still we have that good rental deduction. Obviously, the electricity costs also went down by a lot. The internet is still there. Hindi ko pwedeng putulin kasi yung bahay ko, naka-blast yung internet sa office papunta sa bahay. That's how near my house is to the office. And nakakatipid naman ako sa bahay sa internet because I don't pay for internet here. So that's how we profited. Keep your expenses low. And so if you're gonna start a business next year, make sure that your overhead is almost nothing. So if you make mistakes, especially if this is the first time that you're gonna try and start a business, wala kang experience sa hiring, wala kang experience sa selling, wala kang experience sa marketing, magsisimula ka pa lang, keep your expenses low because you're gonna make mistakes. And if you make a lot of mistakes but your expenses are super low, then it's okay. Kaya mong mag-try again.
Got it. So keep your expenses low, be very, very conservative so that you'll be able to pivot also when things parang as there's more uncertainty still for 2021. So I just want to put this to a close. Any final words for everyone watching this? Paulo, Sean, then we'll end it with Chinkee Tan.
Okay, ito nga yung lagi sinasabi ko, ngayong mga panahon ngayon, there's a need for us to really be, to differentiate from the rest. No? Whether we are in business, whether self-employment, whether in the corporate world, di ba yung aking be the orange among apples principle, it works wonder for so long, at it applies to all of us, di ba? Lalo na ngayon, how can we be different? How can we be the orange among apples? If you're in business, parang yung mga apples na yon, competitors natin, we need to stand out. We need to be unique. We need to have that solid differentiator from the rest of our competition to ensure that ipapatronize tayo ng ating mga kliyente, ng ating mga customers. Now, similarly in corporate world, di ba, paano ka rin magta-thrive? Paano ka rin not your typical employee or manager or basically a team leader or a key executive? At the end of the day, we really need to stand out. We really need to be the orange among the apples. So, this is the challenge, Marbs, Sean, Chinkee, and the rest, everyone. Para po itong game of life. Ano po itong game of life na ito? Imagine natin na ang isang tayo, gusto ba natin na maging spectator, na ibig sabihin nakaupo lang tayo dun sa grandstand at nanunood tayo as the game unfolds? Or are we going to be a player who will play the game, who have trained for the game, and who are driven to basically win the game? So that's a challenge, everyone. Can we be just a typical spectator or a player who will the game and win the game of life, whether pandemic or post-pandemic?
Sean.
Happy New Year! All right.
Oo nga, Happy New Year, guys. For me, my advice to you, 2020 is, I would say it's the most difficult because when the crisis hit and the lockdowns hit, we couldn't see far ahead. In fact, a lot of people in the news were saying, baka May, baka June, baka July, okay na. There's a fog, a heavy fog, and as a visionary myself, that's one of my strengths as a strengths finder. I'm a futuristic person. Usually I could see 3 months, 4 months ahead, but that was a big deal for me that I couldn't see because of the fog of the crisis. And right now it's lifting. Kahit pa paano, nakikita na natin okay, ito na yun. Ito na yung nangyayari. Bahay lang yung mga tao. Cloud kitchens and deliveries and logistics. Ito yung mga kumikita, e-commerce, mga kumikita ngayon. The fog is lifting, so we have better ideas on what can be done. Now here's the thing. Some people see the economy as walang gumagastos ngayon, lahat magtitipid. Walang pera ngayon, mahirap magnegosyo ngayon. But the reality is, the gas money, the eating out money, movies, going out Saturday night barkada money, all of that's not being spent right now. So there's money. There's money that can be earned. So if you are looking next year to start a business, I'm telling you now, there is that money that can be earned. The economy has money. It's just that you need to go back to the advice that we gave earlier. First, ask God for wisdom, direction, and then be creative on what you need to do, and then execute. Just do it. Fail, that's okay. But if you keep expenses low, you can try again. And then, when things are getting momentum, nakikita mo, itong business na ginagawa ko, kumikita. I can finally, buy some wants, not just some needs because of this business that I'm doing, then my advice for you is be the best at what you do. Be the best at it. Kasi if you're just one of the many, mahirap eh. I used to ask in my talks, who's the number one soft drink brand? People know it's Coca-Cola. Who's number two? Majority would know it's Pepsi. Who's the number three? No one knows. Even I don't know. And it's hard to be number two, number three, because you will get confused with everyone else. And then you cannot demand for a better price. You have to compete, a vicious cycle, no? Cutthroat pricing. Sabi nga ni Paulo kanina, mapapamura ka na dun sa ikitain mo pag ganon. You have to be the best at what you do. Don't diversify na, oh, ito kumikita, gawa ako ng isa pang parang ganitong business. Don't do that first. Be the best at what you do. That's my closing advice to you guys.
Thank you, Sean. Before I go to Chinkee, I just wanted to say this also that sabi ni Sean, the economy is not so good. Guys, don't wait for the economy to get better. You have to make yourself better because you can thrive even if the economy is not yet where it was before. Anyways, Chinkee, take it away.
I've learned a lot from Paulo and Sean today. Definitely. For me, itong 2021 na ito, I think one thing that all of us should learn how to overcome is the word called fear. F-E-A-R. Fear of the unknown, fear of the future, fear what will happen, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of what other people might say. Yun ang kailangan natin ma-overcome. And how can we overcome this? Alam mo, di ba? Takot ka lang naman mag-bike kasi hindi mo alam ayaw mo masugatan. Takot ka lang naman mag-swimming kasi hindi mo alam, baka malunod ka. Takot ka rin naman mag-drive kasi natatakot ka, baka madisgrasya mo yung sasakyan. So how do you overcome fear? Hindi, tatapangan ko, I just did not face my fear. O sige. Swimming ka na hindi mo alam. Drive ka na hindi mo alam. Tapang lang, lakas ng loob, passion lang. O tignan mo na mangyayari sa'yo. Madidisgrasya ka. So how do you overcome fear? This is the key word for 2021. From me to you. Learn. Tuto ka. Diba? Matuto ka mag-drive. Pag natuto ka na, hindi ka natakot. Matuto ka mag-bike. Pag natuto ka, hindi ka natakot. Natuto ka mag-swimming. Pag di ka na natuto ka na, hindi ka natakot. Tama? So, ang challenge ko sa inyo ngayon this year is, this is the year of learning. This is the year of unlearning to relearn. You cannot fill a cup when the cup is already full. Well, if you're saying that you know it all, congratulations. I want to congratulate you. It means, you have so much money in your bank account, your business is thriving, your profession, you have no problem, and you are having the time of your life because you know it all. Congratulations. But I really thank God and praise God. Up to this very day, I don't know much. I'm still on the learning stage. I don't pretend that I know it all. As a matter of fact, I'm absorbing a lot of things from Sean and Paulo from this time. And I acknowledge talaga, kung ano man na-achieve ko sa buhay ngayon, it's only 10%. 10%. I still have 90% room for growth. 90% opportunity. So, ang challenge ko sa inyo specifically this year is to learn. Pag natuto ka, mabilis lang yan. Ngayon, nahirapan ka kumita ng pera. Bakit? Kasi baka kulang ang iyong kaalaman at wala ka pang alam. Oo, di ba? Pag natuto ka na, madali na. Nahihirapan ka ba mag-invest? Kasi baka kulang ang iyong kaalaman, wala ka pang alam. Pero pag natuto ka, madali na. Ganon din sa pagnenegosyo. So, yan ang challenge ko. And segue na rin ako, I'll take this opportunity. Baka, mag-end na tayo. This coming January 30, if you really want to learn, para sa mga seryoso lang to ng mga followers ni Marvin, for the serious people who want, so I'm going to teach personally my personal experience on how I started my business enterprise from nothing to something. Kasi di ba, as I mentioned, ang goal natin 2021 is low overhead. Yun ang ituturo ko sa isang online course, webinar. It's a webinar on January 30. It's called Bounce Back Financially 2021. It's going to be from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. to 5 hours to 5-hour session. Ituturo ko sa inyo yung ano yung ginagawa ko kung paano na mag-start ng enterprise na walang puhunan para kumita. And that has been my mantra. And so, isa pa, ang good news, I'm going to teach you also yung money mastery, and then I'm going to also teach you my personal yung methods kung paano ko ginagawa. Kung interesado kayo, you can join me on January 30 called Bounce Back 2021. And ito yung good news. May bonus. I have invited another person who will partner with me in this event. He will be talking about naman his also personal journey from nothing to something. I have already also invited Brother Bo Sanchez to join me. So the two of us will come together in one session. 10 years in the making to, called Bounce Back Financially 2021. For further information, please go to this link na lang sa chinkshop.com, or Marvin will put his link, okay, yung link ni Marvin. I-endorse sa'yo ni Marvin kung saan kayo pwede mag-enroll and register.
Got it. Super, super excited, guys. So, lalagyan namin sa link for those who want to register. And para sa akin, Brother Bo Sanchez, Chinkee Tan, you'll learn a lot from them. And before I let you guys go, please don't forget to subscribe to their channels. Si Chinkee's everywhere ngayon. Kumu, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Hindi pa doon. Si Paulo Tibig, meron din tayong Paulo Tibig Show, Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe to him. And Sean has the Leadership Stack podcast in Spotify, and then also stream simultaneously in YouTube. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. And guys, I hope you learned a lot from their insights. And to all of you, I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.
As crazy as it sounds, I think we are over the worst of it now. There is like a light at the end of the tunnel regarding COVID. We have the new president in, so all of that drama's out of the way. I think there's quite a lot of reasons to be optimistic about 2021, to be honest. So I'm actually pretty bullish and pretty happy to be net long for going into 2021.
I think value investing will be like a really good position to be in, and cyclical stocks, which are the types of ones that we tend to invest in, have strong ties to the economic growth and the current low valuations. So they should probably enjoy a larger bounce back as we see the markets and the economies recover with the low interest rates in the new year.